It's okay to be myself. It's okay to be Ayo. I have nothing to hide, no more guilt, no more shame. And I'm not hiding anymore. It's time to be me. It's time to be free. I'm free now. I'm just human like everyone else, and I deserve to have my voice heard. It's my time.
School of Beatbox is a social enterprise that teaches the art of human beatboxing. Now, we have a social focus, so we're committed to having a positive social impact, and that is to raise confidence and self-esteem of young people, and at the same time we're raising awareness about stammering or stuttering.
And how did the STAMMER project come about? And tell me a little bit about this documentary that's premiering.
So, when I was a kid, from the age of 9 till 11, I used to stutter myself. Now, it was something that came up all of a sudden. Prior to that, I could speak fluently, and all of a sudden, I stuttered. And then it passed. There's a little bit of a backstory here. When I got to the age of 11, I got in touch with beatboxing, and I found that I could make all types of sounds and noises with my mouth, and it was incredible. And as any kid would do, if you're stuck on something as challenging as a stutter, once it passes, you're going to forget all about it, right? You're going to be like, get on with my life. And that's kind of what I did. Fast forward to 2017, 2018, and I started thinking about setting up School of Beatbox, using my art of beatboxing and to teach other people. But I also knew that I wanted to raise awareness about stuttering, because I started to look back at what stuttering was when I was a kid, and I found that it was something so fascinating. I wondered, why did I stutter in the first place? Why did I ever stop? And I got in touch with people at the British Stammering Association, and I went to the conference and I did a talk there. And I knew that I wanted to raise awareness about stuttering. There was the UK Beatbox Championships that happened in 2018, and I had this wild idea to form a group of people that all stuttered, but to get them to sing and use their voices to raise awareness about stuttering in a creative way. So we've taken a few steps forward, and after doing a couple of performances, we've actually recorded and filmed a full documentary. Amazing. And the whole mission is about reaching people that might be feeling isolated or isolating themselves, which is a very common thing to do, right? And so reach them and say, so people can see this and say, well, these people stutter. They've got exactly the same thing that I have, but look what they're doing. So that's kind of the mission.
And Claire, you're one of the people that feature in this documentary. Yeah. Why did you want to take part?
I think it's just an opportunity that obviously doesn't come around very often, and as someone who's stammered for nearly 25 years, I think it's just something that you sort of start to learn about yourself, that actually if you sing, you don't stammer, and it becomes a sort of form of escapism in a way. If you're really having a hard time with your stammer at that moment, you just know that if you were to sing, it's not going to be an issue. So being able to be in a group with other people who stammer and understand how that feels, and to be able to sing together in a way that does just make you feel free, I think it's just something that I couldn't turn down.
And you mentioned there that you really enjoy singing, so tell me a bit more about how music can help with stammering and with finding your voice.
So with regards to singing, I think, you know, there's lots of research going on at the moment about how if you sing, you aren't going to stammer, and that's because you use a different side of your brain, and that's absolutely something that people who stammer will know about, and it's being able to express yourself and communicate in a way that you know you're going to do it without having the feelings of embarrassment or shame or anxiety. And so by being able to communicate in that way, it helps to lift confidence and self-esteem and things like that as well.
And when these 6 people came together in this documentary and got in the studio for the first time, what was the feeling you had?
I was blown away because I'd set up a initial first rehearsal in a space in London, and I had no idea how many people were gonna, if anyone was gonna walk through that door. You know, they had nothing committing them to this mission. They didn't even know at that point, actually, that I had a performance planned. It was just, come together, we're going to get together, we're going to sing. But 5 people walked through that door, and I just felt the whole story come alive. Something was happening, and I was like, this is special. These people are all special that walked in through this door because they believe in this mission. They want to make a difference, and here we are. You know, I love that. You know, if you have an idea, and you know, we should follow those visions because those ideas can really become something. And I'm blown away at every step that we've taken, and here we are on London Live.
And Claire, how much general awareness do you think the public have about stammering, and you know, what initiatives have you kind of taken to change that?
So I think in general there's a lot more awareness about stammering than there used to be, but even now there isn't anywhere near enough as we'd like. If you think about Gareth Gates in Pop Idol, that was over 20 years ago now, and the King's Speech, that film was released over 10 years ago now, and so it's about time that something sort of came back onto the media screens to help promote stammering. With regards to something that I've done, for example, I've set up Stuck in 2014, which is an initiative which stands for the Stammerers Through University Consultancy, which essentially is me going around universities in the UK to talk to them and to hold focus groups and seminars to understand what the universities are and aren't doing to help their students and staff who stammer. And I currently work with 22 universities in the UK, and it's just so nice to be able to offer that support and the sounding board almost for someone who's been there and done that and gone through university and stammered all the way through it. It's just nice to be able to help others and to ask universities to think about changing the way that they do things, because they might not necessarily think that it could hinder someone who does stammer in that way.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds wonderful. So just finally, the documentary's premiering in November. Tell us a little bit about what might happen on the night. So
it's going to be a film screening. It will start at 7 p.m. on Thursday the 11th at a beautiful place called The Yellow, which have been very, very supportive in pushing this and helping us get this out to people. It's going to be followed by a live panel, which we think is very important for, I'm sure people will have a lot of questions. Each of the 6 singers involved in the documentary will be sitting on the panel, as well as myself, and we are looking at potentially getting a special guest on as well. Nothing can be said right now, but yeah, this is basically it. So it's going to run from 7 till 9 on the 11th of November.